I'm Disaster Patrick. I've been an emergency and disaster professional for over 25 years. I founded and ran the largest small business disaster company in the U.S., was the youngest national private sector representative to FEMA, and I've consulted with the largest companies in the world. We now live in an age of disasters, and Disaster Patrick is on a mission to prove that
if you prepare for disasters, you'll never experience one.
Today, I'm going to a neighborhood in Santa Monica, California. This area was completely destroyed by the Palisades fire just a few months ago. Today, my challenge is to show you how to safely return to a home that has been completely destroyed by a wildfire. Many of these residents want to come back to pick up important items and start the insurance process. But what many people don't know are the hidden dangers that lurk everywhere.
My challenge today is that I am going to show you how to safely return to your home after a wildfire. And I'm going to show you all the different things you can run across and all the different kinds of hazards you need to be thinking about as you're walking around.
I am going to go into a neighborhood in the Palisades area to evacuate a series of honeybee hives with a fellow beekeeper. Amazingly, these hives were saved from the fire itself, but FEMA is planning to raze the entire neighborhood and are allowing the residents to come back for some things. Before I even arrive at the neighborhood, I am already greeted with military checkpoints.
We can come in. We live here, so yeah, thank you.
This helps prevent looters that were common in other areas of LA. As we get closer, I can see the incredible devastation.
Holy moly, look at that. Broken glass, everything.
Neighborhoods have been entirely clear-cut, but here we are getting to the street.
One of the first things I want to do is look around. Am I smelling anything? Am I seeing anything dangerous? I don't want to be stepping on anything.
I am looking for anything that could pose a danger, like falling debris, broken glass on the ground, and even hot spots.
So let's take a look. So if you're driving your car up, one of the first things I want you to think about is check out these booms here. They had these booms because in the days and weeks after the wildfires, they had these out because there was rain. And the significant amount of rain, check out the debris. All of that debris was suddenly being shuffled down into here, and they were trying to prevent it from getting into the street because they wanted to make sure there was a clear line of sight. So if we had to evacuate again, that was something available. Now they have been controlled, obviously, they've been made and nursed. We don't have to worry about that. But what we do have to think about is as we're walking along, we don't want to have a problem. See all these things on the ground? This is wiring and pipes. Now take a look. See those X's again? See all that stuff over there? All those things are chemicals we need to be watchful and aware of. All right, so now I'm going through the house. So the first thing I do when I'm coming in here is I'm taking a look. I'm doing an assessment. What's here that can hurt me? So obviously we've got rusted areas here.
You need to be very careful where you step. When a house is destroyed like this, it is very easy to lose your footing.
Oh, now take a look at this. When I was a medic, I had a guy who actually put his foot through one of these nails. It's the same thing, except on the wall. You don't want to be touching that in any way. You can see I brought gloves with me. Take a look at that. 2 screws on each side and these 2 screws here. That is an instant cut and a very painful tetanus shot I'd have to take later. Look at the devastation on this garden. You can see everything has been destroyed. All these tiles are gone. These beautiful mosaics are now nothing more than residual ash. Take a look at the water. All the pipes have been totally scorched. Another metal fitting here, and again, you got to be really careful with those. Now as I go through the rest of the house, I need to keep an eye out for what I'm seeing. So look at this. This is in my way. Don't want to be holding this, don't want to be leaning on it, because I don't know how strong these are. I'm gonna go down this hill, but take a look at the entire neighborhood. Now check out this entire neighborhood. Everything is devastated. Really, before I go any farther, I want to make sure that I'm not walking down an unstable hill.
You should always wear a mask when you first enter an area like this. Off camera, we were informed that the area had been declared safe for breathing. However, just a few days prior, this would have been very hazardous, and I would have had to wear a mask and a full-body disposable hazmat suit called a Tyvek.
So now I'm going to continue my descent. I have to be really careful here not to step on this pipe. Before I go any farther, I want to mention there are 2 other people within eyesight of me. They can see what I'm doing. They can see every move I'm making, because if something happens, they need to be ready to be able to assist me. Whoa! Take a look, I almost stepped right on that. That would have been an ouch, for sure. Take a look at that view. Down there was all the other mobile home parks, all the way to that beautiful beach. All those ones were entirely clear cut.
I am going to be searching through this house to find items that I might need.
You see bikes here. You see lots of different things. You have girders that have come down. Take a look at this here. These girders are not only covered in rust, we don't know what's underneath them. Look at these propane tanks, all made inert, and amazingly, they hadn't exploded. Many times, these things do explode. Take a look at this tree right here. Look at the scoring on it, all the way to the top. It's amazing what's happened to this thing. When you are looking at a tree, you want to take a look and say, are any of the branches dangerous? Because I'm not wearing a helmet today. If I were to, I don't want to get hit by anything in the head. See this? This was a car, and this was an electric car.
Electric vehicles contain lithium batteries. When exposed to high heat, can spark a chemical fire that is extremely difficult to suppress.
So what they did is they actually came out here, flipped the car over, then they removed the lithium battery entirely from the car to prevent a hazard.
With the prevalence of EVs, fire departments now make these sweeps after mandatory evacuations are ordered. Remember that FEMA routinely bulldozes areas after wildfires, so they ask the residents to come back to collect items from their homes.
This is a tank. It has an X. We need to think about that because there could be hazardous chemicals.
After a wildfire, you may see a spray-painted X like this on a side of various items in or near your home. First responders do this to identify an empty container that previously had chemicals removed from it and now needs to be disposed of. However, you should never touch them, as they could still have residual chemicals that could be dangerous to your skin if touched.
So when you come onto a scene like this, you need to be looking for glass. That is so important when you're going through here.
Glass might not seem like a big deal, but they can very easily cause a problem.
Making sure that you are wearing the right kinds of shoes. You can see the shoes I'm wearing. They're very protected, and I want to make sure that you're also wearing pants. This asphalt burned. Look at this. All of this entirely burned. There's no purpose to me to have to touch any of these things. We want to be able to protect ourselves. Maybe at your house, you may have something buried. I know people who have put safes into basements. Don't try to pull the safe out. Leave everything there until debris removal has removed it. Then go after it, because you don't want to try to pull something up. It's totally unsafe to do so. In Los Angeles, it's so common to have dirt around here like this that can be unsafe, because what happens is the wildfire comes down and it destroys everything. Then all of a sudden you're going to get rain, you're going to have landslide. So if I'm going to be here, I want to make sure my footing is safe, because I don't want to be stepping somewhere where I'm going to slip.
As I am approaching the house, I notice this hillside.
Check out this hill. You don't want to be walking up this hill. That is a place where you can very easily slip and fall. This is about as far up as I'm going to go. I'm not going to go up this hill at all. I'm going to leave this entirely alone because I don't want to have to slip. You can see it's very easy. Look at all the sediment here and debris.
Just a few miles from here is the city of Ventura. After the Ventura wildfire 2017, there were landslides behind multiple houses. If this hillside isn't protected, when it rains, this will become a muddy, dangerous mess.
There's something of a minor miracle here. The mailbox is still here and it's actually in pretty good condition. Get this. Ta-da! There's actually still mail in here. Some kind of a catalog. There's like mail in here. The mailbox is just as hardworking as it's supposed to be, ensuring that no matter whether it's rain or sleet or snow, nothing can prevent that post box from being there in its perceived rounds. So one thing I have to be careful of is I see a structure like this, I can't enter it because I don't know what could possibly be in here. This thing could easily collapse. Take a look. So I want to make sure if I'm walking past this, I don't go inside.
We can take out anything from the house, but today we're focusing on relocating the bees because the homeowners are beekeepers. Now that I have gone through the house and found whatever I needed, it's time to grab the bees.
All right, guys, so now I'm going to be entering into a hive that's been impacted by the fire. They're going to be very defensive. I need to be prepared for that.
Beekeeping as either a hobby or sideline business is popular in Southern California due to its climate. But there is a hidden danger here. Honeybees in Southern California are extremely defensive and can cause injury easily. I am taking them because once FEMA bulldozes the area, they won't care what else is here. So it's important that we remove the bees.
One of the things I just learned is that just because the bees are all over me, it doesn't mean necessarily this is defensive behavior. And this is stuff that beekeepers in Southern California deal with all the time.
I'm not taking the risk. You shouldn't either. They have a killer reputation because when you are stung by one bee, a pheromone is released, which signals to other bees to sting you as well, as they will perceive you as a threat and try to aggressively repel you. I am wearing a full bee suit, and you should as well if you run across Southern California bees.
The bees are not really following me. They're slowly leaving. They're not staying around. I can't hear as much activity. I can see that they're starting to move away from me. That's great. When we're exiting the scene, we need to make sure that the bees are not following us.
When you leave, you need to make sure you clean whatever clothes you have on you. Also, if you are taking any items from your home, make sure they are decontaminated as well. Today, I assessed the scene, took you through a house destroyed by wildfire, and showed you how to safely evacuate any items from your home. I hope this video will be helpful to you if you ever have to return to your home after it is struck by a wildfire.
And so, as I always say, if you prepare for a disaster, you'll never experience one.